Here we go.
Good evening, and I welcome you to another edition of the Dutty BumbaCast. I'm here with Marnie. How you doing, Marnie?
Yeah, I'm blessed. What you saying?
I'm good, man. How's your week been?
Busy, very busy.
What
but
kind
you know,
of fuckeries you get up to this week, then?
Huh?
What kind of fuckeries you get up to this week?
Yeah, it's because it's fuckery. I won't say on the show, but you know what I mean. I've been busy.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, man. You can tell me after the show.
Yeah. It's private.
Easy. So, yo, we got Crush.
Hey.
How you doing, Crush?
What's up, backstabbers and two fierce people,
Mm-hmm.
I'm good.
Jamaican, what you just
I know, I'm trying, yeah, man, I'm trying a thing, you know. Me and Don have been working on our accents all week. Isn't it, Don?
Yeah, we have. Yes, we have. All right.
All right, my darling. Yeah, well, I'm good, man, babes. I'm good, everybody. Good to be back. I've taken a few weeks out and stuff. But,
so we haven't seen you, man.
I know.
I've been here. So
I know. I've been cool. I've been persevering and getting on with some stuff. I got accepted to university this week, so I'm feeling good.
On that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, man. Other than that, health and social. Which is for me, my criminal record's quite long, so I've had to find a niche, you know. So that's
like
another.
No. Record, you know, I'm a good person.
You know what? This is the thing, you know. Your past can really catch up on you as you're grown and you're aspiring to do other things. That's the real punishment, you know. But if you are serious, your past can't stop you, and that's where I'm at in it. So
yeah, push forward, man. Don't make nothing hold you back.
That's it.
And let me introduce the final one.
Save the best till last, you know.
Donna, how you been, Donna?
Yeah, I'm all right, you know. But, you know, sorry, I just got to say this. My son's just come in here trying to tell me about a fucking rabbit. Can he get a dwarf rabbit for his birthday? Yeah, I just had to run. He's whispering it as well because he knows I'm doing something. So it's like, don't bother me, yeah? But they put a dwarf rabbit in the house. No. Let me just say it out loud one time, Diego. Fuck off with that. Come out. Yeah? So, yeah, hello, everybody. I'm here tonight. Sorry, I just had to share that bit of information. A rabbit in the house. No rabbit don't come in the house. Only in the drawer. No.
Talking of that, that's one of our subjects, isn't it? That's a good intro. Wasn't that not a good intro, Don?
Oh, shit. Yeah. I just...
Well done. You didn't even realise.
No, in it. But yeah, everything's blessed, man. I'm all right. I've had I had a shit week still. My back ain't been good all week. Been led up for a few days. But other than that, everything's good. I'm good. Lenny, talk up, man.
Listen, one more thing. Listen, we might have a guest phoning in later. All right, just to let the listeners know, we got a guest calling in at some point. All right, so get ready, because it's going to be a good show. All right, so we're going to start the show off with our first topic is going to be, should people with mixed-race children spend time to teach their children about the other half of their culture? All right, so what am I going to go to first for this?
Let me say,
well, you never hear fullback Crush. He said my name.
Yeah, and it go on true, girl. You know, because for me, I don't know. I only got a tiny opinion on it. So obviously, you don't really probably have more. So that's what I was going to say. Let me just say my piece and go on true. But go on true, my girl.
Oh, well, I don't really have a lot to say. All I know is, I think that everybody should teach their children about their culture, especially if you've got mixed race kids. They should know their shit anyway. But one thing I do think is that as a parent, if you're a white parent and you have mixed race kids, learn to do their fucking hair. Yeah, because I can't take that, you know, when you see white women with mixed race kids and their hair look dry and picky. Like, that's what I think they should learn. As much as they need to learn about their background and the culture and shit, they need to learn that, because that's not a good look. Yeah, it don't look good when your kid's hair's a mess, especially when you're walking around with stush hair as well. Like, no. So that's just my opinion.
Well, you mean stush hair yourself, yeah, that kind of thing, and you're not looking after your kids.
Oh, and the hair...
it's very common, isn't it? It's very, very common. You know,
that is a cultural thing, I think. So.
Yeah, I know a few friends that don't know, but they actually ask for advice and don't know what to do, and you try and school them with that as well, and say, okay, use these products and so forth. Yeah, they should learn about that. I agreed on that one.
Yeah, so that's all I'm saying on that. So yeah, Crush Talker.
I agree with you 100%. Because, you know, I've got mixed race kids, right? So I got 3 baby mothers, right? And the woman I'm with now, right, is white, and we've got mixed race kids. We've got 3 kids together. Plus, she got a kid from a previous relationship. Alright, now my woman...
Who's typing? Sorry, Lenny. Someone's typing away in this kind
I am.
My woman, alright,
okay, go ahead,
she
sorry.
can do the hair. She knows all about it, really. She cooks food. She cooks Jamaican food from scratch.
Yeah.
Seasoning them herself. She don't go and get the Raja seasoning them on all that part there. Everything from scratch. She knows how to do the youth them's hair. She knows about moisturizer, cream, all sorts of things. She knows how to deal with youth them that way there. Plus,
yeah, meant to. That's right.
Let's youth them know about their culture, like where like black people are coming from. Plus, she lets them know about white people as well. I do it. I teach my kids certain things. But yeah, she is good with what she's doing. But I do understand with what you guys are saying about certain women walking around with their kids looking mashed up. Yeah, maybe because I've seen it a few times. I've seen it loads of times, and it ain't just not in a bad way. I haven't just seen white women do it, you know. Right? I also see some black women now that ain't doing their youth hair, but their hair is stush as well. Yeah, maybe, but they can't manage to do their youth hair. This is just crazy. It's crazy. But Marnie,
Yo.
What do you think about the situation, boss?
Yeah, obviously, I think that they should be taught about their culture. I think it goes a lot deeper than hair and food and that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, because obviously, like, society the reason why it's important in my idea is like, you know, like I feel like there's a divide between black and mixed race here. But what people have to understand is that society sees mixed race children as black with a white mum. They don't see them as mixed race. They don't see them as close to them. So they need to know, they need to understand really that the world that they live in, they're black. Like, so when they're trying to separate themselves from black people, all they're doing is doing themselves harm, because when they go out into the real world and become professionals, get jobs, they're
black, yeah.
Black is black. So at the end of the day, they need to understand black history. A lot of kids nowadays, mixed race children, they don't even know that black people were slaves.
Oh, don't say that, because sorry, Marnie, I shouldn't ever cut you there because you was chatting, but my kid watched, 12 Years a Slave, and he didn't like white people after that. Like, he said they're all pagans, so I had to just, like, try and show him that's not how it's changed from back in the day, but sorry, yeah, carry on, man, I shouldn't have cut you up there.
Well, yeah, as I said, like, for them to, you know, they some of them don't know that we're slaves. Some of them will say, oh, I'm brown, I'm not black. Like, what does that mean? Like, there is no such race as brown. Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, they'll look at someone my color and say that they're black, but then they'll look at Rihanna or Beyonce and say they're brown. And like, are you dumb? Like, black comes in many different shades. Like, there's Somalians are black people, Ethiopians are black people, but they don't look like us. Their shade of black is different, but they're still black. You get what I'm trying to say? They're just from another country. So, you know, like, they need to be taught. They need to understand where they're actually coming from. They need to understand why they're actually here. Like, as in, why there are mixed race people here. Like, in the sense of,
where them from?
In the sense of intertwining and coming from different places of the world, and how we end up in one place and intertwine. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Obviously, if it weren't for things like civil rights movement, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Marcus Garvey, they have to understand that they wouldn't be here, because being with a white person, being with a black person would be illegal.
Would be,
They kind of, you know what I mean? So it's a lot deeper than hair and clothes and food and that. If they don't know, they're just going to think that they're basically going to go along with what society tries to make you believe, that the lighter you are, the better you are.
No, that's true. That's another
But it doesn't apply when you've got black in you, because when you've got black in you, you're just black as far as the society is concerned, because the world is systematically racist. And that's just a fact.
No, Money, with what you're saying there, I agree. Like, when you said the U.S. broke everything down to a T, it needs to be addressed to them. That we need to teach them that where they're coming from, like you said, why they're here, and what people fought for them to be here. You know what I mean? Like, I think, like you said, like, back in the day, it was illegal for mixed relationships and all that sort of shit. Black man was getting hung, lynched, killed for all those sort of things there. Right now, these mixed race kids, some of them are kind of lost in a way where they're saying, well, I'm not black. I'm like, nah. And then you're going to be the same. No, in a bad way. I'm going to say it real.
No, Benny, can I say something when you finish, please?
Yeah, you're going to be the same nigger I am. You know what I mean? To that racist white person. You're not going to be that, oh, you're half nigger. No, you're going to be that same nigger. You're probably even going to be worse. You know what I mean? Because of you being mixed. You get me? Next thing you know, your mother's nigger lover, your daddy's nigger lover, whatever. You get me? But they need to know where they are coming from and the history behind it. You know what I mean? Like.
And also, just to add, sorry, Donna, real quick, and Lenny, is also to represent both. You need to know, you know where you're coming from to where you're going. Because I've noticed, growing up as well, a lot of mixed race people, or especially guys, would kind of be lost in the midst of where they're at. They could be predominantly in a white family, but they live in the ends. And then, but they know about white privilege, for instance, how to go and get these jobs, how to, but then want to come into it's like they know how to cross over, but then they really are in their souls lost with what's what and where they're at, which is unfortunate. So it's really imperative. You need to kind of school them on both. It's so imperative that they understand what they represent and hold that with pride. You know what I mean? I think that's what's lacking. It's like they don't know which way to stray, or they do both, so they're on both sides of the fence, which doesn't make them feel real, like true to themselves. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I've seen quite a lot as well.
Well, my auntie, she was a war baby, and like back in the day, it was you couldn't go with a black man, like, because it just wasn't happening back in them days. So it's as mad as it sounds. My auntie Laura, who's mixed race, was racist. I remember her growing up. I remember when my sister first got pregnant as well. I remember the words she said to her, Stacey, don't have that baby. Do not have a black baby and bring a black baby into this world. Yeah. And I was like, what? What are you trying, Auntie Laura? Like, what is wrong with you? She went, listen, you don't understand what bullshit I had to go through from being a child, a mixed race baby growing up. Because if you notice, right, you don't see many old mixed race people. Like, you don't.
Yeah, they had to go for the old school ones had to go through so much to fight, because there's only the one in the odd community, the odd one, and usually the parents would kind of cast it out and so forth. You know what I mean? Yeah, and you know what I mean? Yeah, that's definitely happened.
And they shipped her out, because my mum lives in something out in the country, so can you imagine that was even worse? It weren't even in an inner city. So they shipped her out to go and live in, I think she lived up north somewhere, like, because she couldn't cope with it. It was like she was just the nigger child, like, with the curly hair. It was mad. Like, so it's really weird, I think, how you don't expect like yourself, like mixed race people to be racist to black people, but she was. She hated everything black. It was just mad, and it was only because of what she got put through for her life. So it sent her. She just went. I don't know. It's a really weird way of thinking, but I suppose it's what all she went through was just not good luck. But I just had to say that. Sorry.
Donna.
Yeah.
All right. My dad is mixed race. Yeah.
Okay.
But he grew up with his dad, Jamaican household. All right. So he grew up between Eastern and St. Paul's. All right. He got brothers that grew up in Northwest with their mum. All right. So he told me growing up, like going to visit his mum, he used to see that kind of shit, like where there'll be mixed race people up there, or even black people that are racist to their own. He said he ended up fighting one boy named, they called him Modi Clyde up there, right? And he was a black youth. But he fight my dad, I was calling my dad nigger. You get me? But he said that watching his brothers, like, it was just completely different, because they used to be getting chased through Northwest. Get me? By White guys, they're mixed race. They're getting chased through nose by the white guys, and that one black hue. Yeah, that was lost. He's lost because he's growing up with white people up there, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's growing up in a white household. So he's against his own color as well. So people are supposed to know their roots, man. Like, you're supposed to teach them. As a parent, you're supposed to teach them where they're coming from. Don't make them lost to, oh shit, what's the word for it? Just don't make them a lost cause, really.
Make them what I say is just make them understand how the world works and why it works like this, and that you're right. All right, and last week here, I said something here, obviously, like, not even going, it's the same subject, not going upstairs when I said, I don't like when black guys say they don't do, like black girls or, like, you know what I mean? But it's like, it's like, what I don't understand what that means. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, you've just got to embrace what you are, and, you know what I mean? You can't make judgments like that, innit? Because it doesn't make sense, innit? It's like, what does that mean you don't like black women? What does that mean? It's like, does that mean that that means that all women who are not black are better looking than black women? Does that mean that if Beyonce said fuck me, you're going to say no because you're black? What does that mean? Like, you get what I'm trying to say? Is this is what the world has turned into, where you've been tried, all right, then the house nigga in it. The house nigga is the light-skinned, mixed-race slave that works in the house. He's warm, he sleeps in the bed, and the black slaves, they work outside. So that automatically built the segregation in it. Light skins think they're better than the dark skins because they get to stay in the house. The dark skins don't like the light skins because they have to work outside in the cold. And by people saying that I'm brown and I'm not black, you're kind of just keeping that. You're keeping
momentum going. Yeah, that's that thing. That's
momentum going. So before you say silly things like, I don't do this to people and I don't do that and I don't like white girls, I don't like black. You must be getting you just like you like women on a whole. If you find a woman attractive, doesn't really matter what color she is, or you just need to know where you're coming from, and that's both sides.
That's the truth.
Also to add to that, with mixed race people, as they go to different skin tones and so forth, it's about showing them as well that they've got to own that they can sometimes have privileges as well, and how they can utilize that. They can be from the hood or wherever and be. But they also know that they can get a look in. They need to know that you can own and represent who you are as a person, as a colour, but you can also get privilege through that as well, and it helps them to progress through too. Don't abuse it, own it, and admit that you can get privilege from being mixed race too. Do you know what I mean? It's important that they do. So that's owning. Yeah, you have to own. Yeah, you have to own that. You know what I mean as well, and understand how you can get a look in. You can still be true to both sides, but know how to utilize that.
What you're talking about as well. Yeah, man. Right.
Loud up yourself, Lenny. I can't hear you.
I said that's
talk up the thing.
Can you hear me now?
Hear me now.
Fucking mad, bro. I can't take her, you know.
Go on, don't man.
All right, listen. Let's move on to the topic, man. All right, let's get on to something else. What we're going to talk about right now. All right. Second thing we're going to talk about today is Bill Cosby. You know, he has been found guilty of 3 counts of assault.
Dutty boy.
Marnie,
Dutty
let's go to you first on this, yeah? What do you think?
Well, what do I think about the story?
Yeah, about Bill Cosby. What do you think about the charges he's getting now, all right? Because of, he could be looking at 30 years. Yeah, what do you think about the whole thing?
Well, what was he doing? He was drugging the gal in a minute, like putting things in there and then feeding them up in it. I think he's probably done it. Like, I don't really think much of it, to be honest with you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's you know what I mean? It's what kind of. Back then, when he was a young'un, the thing is, one of them was in 2004. To be honest with you, it wasn't even that long ago.
That's it.
To be honest with you, he's a bit of a weirdo, I suppose, isn't it? Like, he's obviously got some kind of fetish where he likes to be drugged up gal. Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? Because I'm pretty sure that he can beat most gal. Like, just
without having to go that way.
Yeah, why does he go that route? He's obviously got some kind of fetish. There's obviously something he likes to do to them while they're not aware of what's going on. And obviously because he's not admitting that's what he done, we're probably never going to know what the fetish actually was.
What I've heard lately, sorry to cut you on it, that he has admitted to so many charges.
Yeah.
Where he's admitted to so many, was it 5 charges?
That's just the start, I think, innit? That's just the start. Yeah.
Okay, so there's the figures are quite high for how much ladies there were. So so he's admitted he's drugged 5 women and basically raped them, yeah?
Yeah, basically that's what I've heard. I haven't read the story myself. I've spoke to I'm in another WhatsApp group, and it came up in the WhatsApp group, and they said, yeah, he's admitted to so many charges.
Well, like I said, it's obviously a fetish that he's got. It's something that he likes to do. You know what I mean?
Obviously, I reckon he found out, though. Go on, sorry, go on.
He has to, obviously, the law's the law, innit, I suppose. And he has to obviously face the consequence. Like,
it's okay.
Really?
Right, so about you, Crush? What do you think about it?
I was gonna just to add to that. I think it's very evident that Bill Cosby made a lot of money for obviously Hollywood, but for the media side of stuff, and he was a puppet. So I think it became evident somewhere along the line that this is what his thing was, and they kept it very quiet because of the paper. He was protected for so many years. You know what I mean? And obviously there's a big thing within the system that they're all about that shit. You know what I mean? So I think it was best to keep it hush so he can continue to make them the money and keep everyone quiet and so forth. But as usual, what's in the dark comes to light, and there's nothing they can do about it. People are coming forward now, getting braver. They were scared before. Same thing going back to the Jimmy Savile, same kind of situation. He was big for Britain to make money and this and that. It was very hush and protected, you know what I mean? And that's basically not the case now, and it's come out, you know what I mean? First of all, I thought, they're just using it. Look how the man has done so much good and and as usual they're going to try and bring the black man down and bring shame on him. But then as the stories unfolded, I don't know too much, but it's enough for me to feel that, or look at the facts that he definitely. He's got a thing. He likes a certain way. Likes to do things a certain way. He was very strategic about how he done it. And he also, as usual, people get too comfortable. So he got too comfortable what he was doing. Knew he was protected, but also forgot that he is just a nigger. And when they're ready and they're done with you, they're gonna feed you to the lions. And that's basically what's happened there. You know what I mean? And he will get served, and so he fucking should. At the end of the day. Understand?
Well, you say they waited till Savile died before they fed him, yeah? But
no, Savile. Savile's a little different, innit? You understand?
I'm just meaning the fact that you said, he's just a nigger, and so they at the end of the day just fed him to the lions. I said that they didn't really feed Savile to the lions, innit? They
didn't. Yeah.
He doesn't have to deal with any consequence.
Because he's gone. Yeah, because he's gone. But at the same time, because there's so many, they had to give us somebody. And because he's the dead one, they're gonna leave the ones that are still alive here and let Savile take the focus off of the real shit that's still happening, but put it on Savile, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? You have to put it on somebody because they know that they have now given us access to access all this information and and make it more out there. You can't shield everyone from everything now, so they had to throw someone out, and that's when Savile come into it. You know what I mean? Such a big thing that they deviated away from the fucking churches and all sorts of shit, the football teams and all this shit that's still happening to this very second. You know what I mean? Yeah.
All right, so Donna.
All right. Well, I'm just having a little scan on one NBCnews.com webpage, and it was just saying that he has, on Thursday, half a dozen women testified, and the famed comedian, he drugged and assaulted them. The jury found Cosby guilty on all three counts of aggravated indecent assault against one woman, Andrea Constand. She drawing emotional from the rest of the courtroom. Basically, they're saying that he is looking to it, Cosby faces a maximum sentence of 10 years and a fine of up to £25,000 on each count. He remains free on bail until sentencing, but he is unlikely to spend much time in jail. They're saying because of his age and his medical condition and his eyesight is poor, that they're not going to simply just lock him up. And they were asking them to surrender his passport because they said he's got a plane and whatnot. It's just, I think that's fucked. So basically what they're going to do, by the sounds of this, is he ain't going to get off with it, obviously, but he kind of is, because he's 80. How much jail time do you think he's going to do anyway? They'll probably have a heart attack in there or 5 minutes when he reaches. You know, going from big lavish lifestyle to prison. I don't think he'll last 5 minutes. But he's a dirty dog, isn't he? That's what I say. Lock him up, yes. But I don't, and feed him to the lions. But I don't think he'll last long in there. But they're all saying, all these people are coming forward now. They're all coming up. People in the comments saying, why is it taken this long for people to come forward? And they all think that it's a publicity stunt and the women are in it for the money, which I do think is bollocks, because back in the day you couldn't talk about rape. You could, but it wasn't easy to bring a charge like it is today. It's it was just different back in the days. I don't know. But yeah, I don't think he's going to last long in that.
I'm thinking. Sorry. I'm thinking this, yeah. I reckon he is guilty. Yeah, I'm not covering for him. I'm seeing enough people cover for him or make up excuses or try say, oh, so what about that person? What about this person? Nah, man, get who we've got at the moment. You can't just think about, oh, so what about that person? This brother here has done so many counts of this. It's basically is rape.
Yeah, it was rape.
He's raped these women now, yeah? He's drugged them, raped them. Right? There's been so many that's come forward. Even when he was getting his charges, they said that over 60 women in there, all right, was ones that was coming forward to basically say, yeah, he has done it to them. All right? And basically they're saying that they jumped up and was cheering when he got the 3 guilty verdicts. Do you understand? So there's a lot to it. There's a lot to it, but he can't get away with it just because he's Bill Cosby. He can't get away with it just because if it's any other brother on the road, people would say, we want him to get hanged. You get me? But because it's Bill Cosby, because he's made a few flipping comedies, I didn't even like Bill Cosby anyway. I was a Richard Pryor fan. But fuck, just he's made a few comedies and a couple of people like him. Nah, man, fuck that. You can't get away with that kind of shit. You can't be raping women, taking advantage of. Nah.
He tried to get away with it as well, because back in 2005, the Constant, the woman, right, she filed a civil suit against him, and he paid her out, right? He denied the allegations against him, yeah, and said that the sexual encounter with Constant was consensual, right? So he paid her nearly £3.4 million in 2006 to settle the civil case. But when all the rest of this shit's come out, she's probably thought, fuck that, let's go again. Yeah. But I don't know. I just think he's a dirty dog, and he gets what he deserves.
Right. Right. Obviously, I only found out that we was discussing this subject a couple hours ago, so I didn't really. It's never really interested me, so I didn't really know about it. And because I only found out a couple hours ago, I didn't really get to research it. But how long has he been doing this? Is this something that he's grown to like doing as in his older years? Or is it something that he has been doing from 56 years ago?
Clearly before, and also on his come up, all the way through.
Yeah. The reason why I'm asking this, is because obviously, you said you I can't remember. I think it was Crush You Out said that you some people say that he might be doing this the publicity stunt. Women are in it for the money and so on and so forth. But they because he was so protected. That they couldn't get that they didn't snitch on him back in the day, basically. But 50 years ago, I'm pretty sure in America that if a white woman said that a black man raped her, regardless of how famous he was, they're not going to let that slide.
Not if they're making paper from it. If they're making paper from it, because he's a puppet.
Making money. Remember,
it's all about
paper.
He
was the biggest black man in America.
Silence you with cash.
He was one of the biggest things in America.
Yeah, they were
so
protecting you as long as they can make their paper, full stop, and that's a fact. So that's why, because that's the only reason it could be why he's been protected. Otherwise, they would have dashed him to the lions a long time and hung him a long time, and took away the shows and all sorts. You've got to think, they've only just taken down the shows, taken away his university credits and all these things in the last week. That show that's still running, they're still making paper from. They now have made it enough to be able to say, boom, all right, cool, we have to do this. We've got no choice. You understand? Let's rerun it even more. That's what they were doing, to make as much paper as we can real quick before, because they knew that this was going to happen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you. That makes perfect sense, too.
Yeah, man. So unfortunate.
Look over here now, yeah? We had, who was it? We had Rolf Harris as well, wasn't it? And,
we had
Rolf Harris and Jimmy Savile. And remember, they were big over here. Alright, so once people start coming forward, they were protected back in the day. Even if you watch those documentaries, you realize that these people are protected. You had women going forward and saying that this has happened, but it wouldn't go no further.
No further. Facts,
because of they're protected, because of the millions they're bringing in. That's the same with Bill Cosby. He's bringing in millions to these companies, alright, and everyone's getting paid off. So you can't, money talks, you know.
They were the first professional black family on TV, innit? Yeah, they were the first professional black couple on TV.
Those things there. I mean, and way before that, when he was doing stand-up comedies.
It's sad because, we look at these people as, like with him, we grew up watching him. We really he was like our uncle from behind the screen. Do you know what I mean? He was like that guy, that dad. So that's why but it can't be like just trying to wipe him out. Like, what the fuck, bastards? Do you know what I mean? And when you really check out the program, it's so unfortunate because he really did stand for a lot of shit and gave a lot of people hope and stuff. To find out, say he was on. Yeah, man, it's just.
He was doing what he was doing.
It's a blow, man. It's a blow.
And because he thought he could get away with it.
Exactly. Too comfortable, and because he knew he was protected, but he forgot. He did forget, and his money and everything, or whatever little people he has around him, can't do that.
Things are always come out in the long run. Everything's come out in the long run. You can't hide nothing.
Didn't have all that. That's the difference of R. Kelly, though. You got to think about this. Yeah, I think people like R. Kelly. He's not Hollywood status like that, where he's protected to that degree. Do you understand? That's just a preference of people believing or not. But he didn't have that kind of team supporting him, all that kind of money, all them kind of people, them people backing him to make him, to protect him. He's managed to do that shit by himself, if you know what I mean, to some degree, or get away with it up until now. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's unfortunate.
Dirty bastard. Sorry. Dirty bastard. Do you know what I say to this? You know what I say to this? Wait. There you go. Just had to put that one in there.
Don, how long ago did you have that lined up ready to play?
You know what I'm saying? Fucking long too.
I told you the other week, you need a couple of rhythms to fling down, innit? Like, I told you, like, certain situations, you need a rhythm to fling down, innit?
Yeah, I hear you.
Don, you like that.
Alright, listen, next subject, yeah? And I want Donna to talk about this. Alright, Donna, there's been something, I think it was in the news, it's been on the radio. Was it on the morning show?
Right. This story comes to us via the Daily Mail, yeah? And it follows a recent episode of ITV's This Morning show. Right, the article said, a relationship expert has said it is a fantastic idea for parents to give teenage girls vibrators. Oh, my God. So that they can explore their sexuality. Jeez. Author Annabelle Knight said there is not enough discussion around female sexuality, and she argued that it is important for teenage girls to find out what they enjoy in the bedroom. Speaking on ITV's This Morning, Annabelle suggested that vibrators can prepare teenagers for relationships, as many couples use the toys as part of their sex life. But some viewers was baffled by this debate, and there was tweets and all sorts. Everyone was going mad. They was insisting that this was way too early in the day for this discussion, right, around sex toys and masturbation. Like, what are you saying, Len? Because this, let's just see, because you got a girl daughter as well, so let's hear this.
No, No, I would not be teaching her anything. Don't play with herself with. What kind of fucked up world are we living in? Where you will go and buy your daughter a vibrator? That's mad. Like, I'm a grown man now, yeah? And if you got, well, I'm not going to talk about my sex life. I don't use vibrators. I don't need a vibrator. I'm a man, right? But I will not be buying one.
You just have to mention that bit, innit?
A present like that. And I know what she's doing with it. Oh, for fuck's sake. No.
But why have you don't got one in the drawer lens?
What?
Donna, don't start on him. Don't start on him, Don. Listen, this is a serious subject now. Back to normal.
On YouTube, you know.
You'll lock us off in a minute, Crush. Just let you have me money. Come on, Len, finish what you're saying.
I'm not in it. Let's get back on this. I'm not in it at all. I reckon it's fuckery. The woman that said this is a slut. I'm gonna say she's a slut. Alright? She's just a dirty bitch. She's I don't know. See what they're trying to make us do to our kids?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm putting on TV as well for my opinion if you can see it. No, rascal. Imagine my daughter now come tell me, oh, Daddy, can you get me a vibrator? No, blood clot. I'll back on her. Oh, fuck that.
I'm telling you, like, oh, my goodness. You think about it now. They start in school education, sex education, for instance, yeah? So, you know, we have to, that's fine, you know, they're kind of educating them on certain things. What they're going to tell them now? Okay, cool. You know what I mean? We're going to show you how to put the condom on and now how to insert it. Oh, I can't even comprehend.
Do they teach them that, do they?
They showed them how to, the importance of safe sex and stuff like that, do you know what I mean? But now you're going to give them the floor to go and explore other avenues. So you've got, like the woman say, what you've got your sons in the room playing Xbox, and then what you've got your daughters next door for fucking playing with Rampant Rabbit. This just doesn't make sense. The whole idea and concept is disgusting. I think, you know, kids, as you grow, you explore yourself, your damn self. You're planting too many goddamn fucking seeds into kids' minds to let them explore way too quick. Okay, so if you did have this conversation with your daughter, for instance, you've planted a seed now. So you can give her an option and say, okay, this is an option or what to do. What's she going to go and do? She's going to go on Google, isn't it? She's going to go start logging in. She's going to start looking. What's the first thing it's going to take you to? Porn. And then what? Do you understand? Like, the whole concept is just absolutely wrong. I can't comprehend this. And this is the world we are living in. They're making everything too accessible, too visual, and planting seeds that don't need to be planted yet. It's 18 plus for a goddamn reason.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right, 18 plus.
Yeah. And even then, when I think back to 18, I was still not ready for certain things. You understand? Like 18 plus, just to cuff. We're still not ready for all of this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Adults should be adults.
18, you're still a kid, really. You know what I mean? You're still a kid at heart. You don't know what you're doing.
And the natural order of how you explore things and find things out. How are you gonna? I just don't get it. I don't get this. I don't get it.
There's a woman on the webpage, like on the comment section of the This Morning thing, saying, "Oh, I think it's absolutely fine. I think it's up to the individual parent." She's all, you know, properly. I think most children are actively are sexually active by 14, 15. I want to know what fucking kid she knows, right? At 14, it says, "I myself don't see a problem with it. It saves on STDs and unplanned pregnancies and reputation." What fucking shit? I don't understand that, because if I said to her, "All right, then let me go and buy you a big black fucking 10-inch dildo from Ann Summers." Oh, that, yeah, give me that.
Why does the dildo have to be black?
Because that's the big ones, yeah. I'm going to be stereotypical. Yeah, that's
funny. And it's like there's different types, you know. It doesn't mean to say it's got to be so, you know, so harsh and such.
Big pink one then, yeah.
But you can find different types, different flavors, and no, who wants? It makes no sense. None whatsoever. Who's going to take their daughter to go show her how to use these things? And my Lord.
I don't think that they're gonna. I don't think like all these topics came to me late, so I didn't really get time to, like, you know what I mean, see what this person said and that person said. But logically speaking, I don't think that they're going to say how to use it and what to do with it. I think maybe they're just, you know. But what I'm trying to say is that I think people, I don't know if it's British people or just people in general, are a bit prude and a bit like kind of naive. Like, I'm going to talk about myself. Me, as a young'un, was been sexually active from a long time ago. I was always curious. Didn't used to understand, yeah, when I was a little kid, when I used to see titties on the TV, my willy used to pop up. That's what used to happen. And you're curious. I was interested in girls from a very, very young age. And I think for you to think that a 10-year-old girl hasn't touched herself and wonder what happens when you do this and wonder what happens when you do that, I think that's kind of naive. Don't get me wrong, I'm going from my own... I'm going from my own experience, yeah?
Come on, go on, babe.
I'm going from my own experience of me being me and other girls that I interacted with. That's just all I'm going through, you get me? So, I don't believe... So once you're a teenager, you don't play with yourself long time. Like, come on, like... Like I said, everybody's sexual maturity, yeah, is different, innit? And some people are sexually mature quicker than others. So if someone is sexually mature, then they've done play with themselves and they've done kissed from like, who used to play mummies and daddies? You understand? You get into bed with the girl and you've always been curious. Like I've been caught, yeah, having sex with girls by their kids so many times, and the kids know what's going on and they find it funny and interesting. Like they do. If your daughter catches you having sex, she's gonna laugh. She's gonna be giggling because she knows something is going on that we do as men and women.
Yeah, that's a natural order. Yeah,
but you know what's gonna happen, right? Sorry. So this is what's going to happen, right? I can tell you what's going to happen. You're going to have beer lesbians, yeah, because these kids are going to be going in on the vibes to the point where when they get a boyfriend now, that boyfriend ain't going to be saying shit. They're going to be like, bruv, you're not even touching the spot, bruv. Like, come on.
Yeah, let me finish, yeah? All right, Lenny, I'm going to ask you a question, yeah?
A friend, look what I've got in the bag.
Yo, I'm going to ask you a question, Lenny, yeah? Because I know you were like me as a young'un, yeah?
Yeah.
What age were you when you broke your virginity?
What's that?
How old were you when you broke your virginity?
Very, very young.
Yeah, how old? What was the age?
Well, listen, I had a year of 15, and I broke my virginity before that. You might want to say because you want your kids to hear, yeah? But I'll say I broke my virginity when I was 13, yeah? I thought I had sex before that, but when I had sex, I realized I didn't. You get what I'm trying to say? So the girl who I had sex with was the same age as me. She wanted to do it just as much as I did. So she's obviously already sexually curious. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So what the person's obviously saying is that they're playing with themselves anyway. They're curious anyway. Why be prude about it? I think that's what they're saying. I'm not saying to give them vibrators. You know? That's just not what I'm saying. I'm saying let's just step outside of the box.
That's what the whole conversation is just based on. From the whole conversation they had was about giving them vibrators. So that's just saying. And already playing with themselves and doing certain things, but some of them haven't even bust their virginity. What are they going to do? Now you're going to give a 12-year-old and a 13-year-old vibrators to then do that to themselves, and what comes with it?
What do you reckon you'll do then, yeah? If you walked into your child's room, yeah, she's 12 years old and she's playing with herself. You're going to beat her up? You're going to beat her, cuss her off? Or are you just going to talk to her and explain to her why she might feel she want to touch herself? Or what do you think would be the best way to go about it?
I don't even know.
Think about what you're saying. You're saying that terribly.
Money, that's a very valid point.
Huh? Let me finish what I'm saying, innit? Like, you walk in your brother's room, you catch her playing with herself. What, you're going to cuss her off, or you're going to try and show her? And then she might even open up and say, you know what, I just get these feelings, and boom, boom, boom. And you might think, you know what, she might as well just have a vibrator.
Nah, bruv. Not having one.
All right, so Donna, what would you do then? What would you do if you walked in and seen your 12-year-old kid playing with herself?
But that's a manly toy that is there for sexual pleasure, extended sexual pleasure, and then having to talk about that. Do you understand? We're going to all go through having kids and having to talk to them about their wet dreams and girls playing themselves and finding, in the natural order of exploring.
Not necessarily. My mum's never talked to me about a wet dream. I'm saying the question I'm asking, I just want to ask the questions. What would you do? How would you go about it? Ask yourself the question and answer it. Like, what would you do?
I can't answer, man. Can't answer.
So what she's saying is that because your kids are doing it anyway, the better way to go about it might be to give them a vibrator.
Manny, have you got any kids?
That's what I'm saying.
You ain't got kids, have you?
I ain't got no kids.
I don't know you ain't got kids, because if you had kids, you ain't going to be so nicey, simply saying, yeah, give them that fuck that. They ain't getting no fucking vibe.
I didn't say give them a vibrator. I'm just a logical thinker. I speak logic. I don't take sides. I don't care whether you give them vibrators or not. What I'm trying to say is that logically, if your kid is sexually active, or they've got a high sex drive, what do you do about it? That's what I'm saying. And what she's saying is maybe you should give them a vibrator. And I'm saying, well, if you're saying not to give them a vibrator, what do you do? You must know what you do if you're saying not to. If you're saying not to do one thing, you must know what to do then. So again, what would you guys do?
Right, me. Listen, I think I'll walk straight back out. Right, and
get the wifey.
Go downstairs, roll a spliff. Right, and tell her mum, listen, some daughter's up there doing something. Right, and that's it. That's it. I'm not after that. I'm not saying a word. I have to try and blank it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You think see no evil, hear no evil.
I don't want to catch my daughter doing that. If I catch my daughter doing that, I'm gonna say the couple.
But again, if you're realistic and you start thinking about you as a young'un and knowing that your kids have your genes, you've got to think about things like that.
Yeah.
I don't like the thought of it, to be honest. I just think it's out of order on the boys, because, like I say, the girls are going to sexually...
Not me, I do the bad thing. It's not out of order on me. I should get the vibrator out as well. Like, it's not you do the mad thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hypothetically, the older they are, the easier the conversations. When you're thinking of 11 and 12-year-olds, I think for me it just seems so overwhelming to even think what it would, because naturally, you know, they're going to explore. That's one thing. But then to walk in at 12 and 13 and know that the teacher's handing them a fucking vibrator to explore with, to save, sort of being with a boy or whatever, save STD, it's just overwhelming for me to think about. But you would have to face it and deal with that. You know what I mean?
All right. What if it was like this? What if you just threw it out in the air? Yeah, basically, yeah. We're not going to talk about it in a sense. Like no one's going to be embarrassed. Nobody. But if you find yourself, yeah, being a bit more curious, there's a room you could go to, and you can have a word with her, and to take a vibrator with you is an option. Would that be a better idea?
Oh.
It's like,
yeah.
Hey, I love doing this to you, you know, it's jokes.
Fuck off, Marnie, that's what I'm saying, yeah. Fuck off.
It's true what I'm saying, though. I'm not trying to shit, it's real.
It's such a valid point, because at the end of the day, yeah, if you think about growing up, a lot of the things we were told not to do, we wanted to go and explore real quicker, exactly. Because we were always, you know, what does that mean then? Why can't we do that? So you want to. So I do understand that. Yeah, so you want the option to be able to know what to fuck with. And I guess at that young age, you still don't know what you're doing, to a sense that you want to know, but then what do you do with the answer? So that can then lead into other avenues, and that's the bit I get worried about. You understand? What does that mean then? Because some people are going to be on that shit more hard. Some are going to be like, they tried it once, like smoking a cigarette. Oh, what's my friends doing? Let me try it. Oh no, it's not for me. Oh yes, it is. I'm going to fucking smoke 20 a day. You understand? It's like you don't know what comes with that. There's going to be a whole bunch of people that's going to now tried it. Oh God, no. Yeah. And then there's going to be a bunch that's they're busting their own virginities. What comes after that?
Yeah, right. So you hit the nail on the head. You hit the nail on the head. Some people are going to be curious about it. Some people are going to try it. Some people are not going to like it. But what you have to know,
that's
if your child is doing something here, wouldn't you rather be the person that shows them how to, no matter how bad or negative?
Definitely, and yes, because as I'm growing my two boys, yes, and that one thing, yes, I can't be, because I do say I would prefer if my children were in that. Yeah. I prefer if my kids were here doing their thing than out there in someone else's house or somewhere else. So in that aspect, yes, but when it's
so basically you're saying give them the vibrator. So basically you're saying give them the vibrator.
I'll give them the vibrator.
Yeah, so basically that's what you're saying, because you'd rather them know from you.
Is that what you're saying? You'd allow it then?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that whatsoever fucking ever. I'm saying I can't even comprehend that. I'm too. That's too much for my soul to take. But if the situation was in my face, I don't even know. I wouldn't know how to handle it. I'd have to. As a parent, as an adult, I'd have to. But speaking hypothetically, I could not comprehend that. I think that later on in life, in sex education, there are things maybe in college. When you're 16 and you go into there and you can have more studies on that. 16, we're talking 13, 12 to 13 years old. That's too much. I can't understand that shit. They're not even, everyone's naturally sexual and certain things like that, but to that level where you're now, like I said, it's a man-made thing to enhance sexual experiences. They don't need that shit right now.
On the real, I agree with you. I don't think give them a vibrator. I don't think there's any need for it. It's just stupid.
Keep it old school, couple fingers on things.
You know what I mean? Start with the one, end up with the fist. You know what I mean? That comes later on in life.
If your child is going down that way, right, you just need to talk to them about it and just like try and explain what they might be feeling. And you've got to tell them that it's all right to touch themselves, and you just got to kind of talk to them.
That's it. That's another thing. It's very imperative as well. Even as kids growing up, they say not to kind of, boys, you wake up and they got a wiener going on, they need to a toilet or whatever. They don't even understand it. Do you know what I mean? They're aroused, they don't even understand it. You're supposed to not beat them down. What are you doing? You're supposed to let them feel, make them feel so uncomfortable about their own bodies and stuff like that. You talk to them and explain, but so there's certain levels to this shit. Full stop. Certain motherfucking levels, man.
I've seen my boy, my little one, Romeo, and like looking on his and going to touch. I say, "What are you doing?" All right, and he starts smiling, saying nothing. That's a dirty bitch.
Like you, Lenny. You know what I'm saying? No, but on the real, I'm gonna say something kind of nasty, yeah. I'm gonna push the boat a little bit, yeah. Like, so, do you reckon, yeah, as a girl, obviously, definitely, I reckon 100% fact through life, yeah, there has definitely been a girl that's probably pushed a cucumber up her fanny before. I reckon, on the real. Like, I'm gonna say it's kind of nasty, but I just reckon. I reckon we've gone that far. Like, there's billions of people in the world, innit? So, like. There's some kids out there that's probably halfway there. You get what I'm trying to say?
Anyway, you're saying kids now. You're saying kids, like.
Of course. Like, I was touching, like, you know what I mean? Come on, man. Like,
definitely. I think my first kind of thoughts of not understanding what was going on.
Yes, of course. And that's what you're doing. You're not dirty. You're just thinking, like.
You're just exploring. You don't even know what it's all about. You can't even put a word for the feeling of what the fuck's going on here. Do you know what I mean? Like you said, mums and dads, certain things, fine and grime. We say fine and grime in primary school. We didn't even know what we was doing.
Kiss chase.
Yeah,
exactly. When you was young, boys didn't used to play kiss chase with boys, did they? They understood the you know what I'm saying? They understood the concept.
The natural thing. When you first see that sign of your mum and dad or you hear it, for me personally, I used to be very angry. I used to be like, what's going on there? I knew it was something, but it's like, what's he doing to her? Oh, you know what I mean? And I would be angry at them and stuff. But my first kind of encounter was like the shower head and shit. It's like, what's this? Oh,
all right.
What's this? And that's literally about 11, maybe 12. Do you know what I mean? And then you start, you can't put the name to it though. You can't.
Yeah.
You just know that something feels fucking good.
Yeah. And
shower.
That's how you get mommy to step in and go to my room.
And if it were, you'd make it. But anyway, that's another story. But that was a natural order of something, you understand? Not something that's been planted in your head for you to go and explore too quick, too soon. You know what I mean?
But by 12 and 13 or 14, you're not planting it in their head. They've already thought about these things. They've been thinking about these things from young. But maybe this is me going about myself.
We're talking about the vibrator. That is planted in your head now. You understand? That's like someone will say, okay, you can explore with this way. That's planted a seed now. So now I'm going to go and explore that. What comes after that? Because the more sexual experiences you have, the more the levels start rising as well. So you're starting so young. What comes when you're 16, 18 and you can have sex? You're already sitting on fucking cucumbers.
All right then. I'm going to be real. I'm going to be real again then, yeah. And this calls for honesty. You have to be honest, yeah. When you lot were kids, yeah. How safe, were your parents about keeping sexual things out of your reach and eye?
Yeah.
Like, the reason, when my mum used to go out, my mum, I don't know, I doubt very much it was my mum, but, in the sense of, but there was, I said this to my mum the other day as well, she used to have confessions of a window cleaner. Confessions of, and there's confessions of a window cleaner, confessions of a mechanic, those different ones. It's soft porn. When she used to go out, I used to put that on. So what I'm trying to say is how much kids do you reckon looked in their mum drawer and found the vibrator anyway? You're not planting any seeds. Like, let's not be naive. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? Like, let's not be naive. That's what I'm saying.
And handing one to them, that's very different opposed to being promiscuous, like, you know, venturing out and checking little things and just, you know, doing that. But
that goes back to the question, would you rather them learn from you or someone else? So if they find a vibrator in the drawer and they're not going to ask you because they're too scared to ask you, they might ask someone else. And then someone's going to push it out their ass.
And then do other things with it.
And then it's going to go around the school. Your mum's got to be with vibes.
Hit it on the nail in terms of being, you know, what you don't know don't hurt you kind of thing, or the ignorance of it. In that sense, and we all agree, we would prefer them to learn through us than the other way.
That brings trouble in the future.
But literally, stop talking over each other.
When I ask you that what you don't know don't hurt you, then all that might do is just lead trouble to the future. That's and I think that's where the woman's coming from, innit? That's just what I think. Innit? But that's all I got to say about that.
Good point, man. Well, I think you have given me.
So who's for the vibes then? Who's up for giving the picnic them the vibes?
No doors. Put it that way.
I'm still not giving.
But that's how it is, though, isn't it? It's not. But that's how it is. Who's gonna give their child the vibes? Because I know I ain't. I don't give a fuck. She ain't getting one. I'm old school. 2 fingers, rude gal. No joke. Fuck it. No, she ain't getting one. So that's me. I know, Lenny. You ain't giving you one either, are you?
I'm not. No, I'm not.
That's nice. So yeah, this morning come fuck off with that conversation.
Alright, the next subject, alright, this is gonna be the last one, alright, because we're gonna lock off after this one here. Yeah? Listen, what horror movies? Can you remember horror movies as a kid? Oh, those. Like Nightmare on Elm Street. Like Poltergeist. What movies as a kid that scared the fuck out of you?
Animal Farm.
Let me.
Hey, what done? You used to watch that when you was a picnic, yeah? What, 11?
Now look what you've done. How old?
Huh? Yeah, how old were you watching that one?
I was country rude boy. No.
Where did you find that? Mum and Dad's house? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I was about 14. And I remember all the picnic chatting about this Animal Farm, and I was like, there was older kids talking about it, and I didn't want to sound like I didn't know what I was going on about. So I was like, yeah, I watched that. When they said about the woman taking the cow, I was like,
go back here, but that kind of thing, someone start fucking half. Your daughter wants to go suck off a half.
Oh Lord, oh God.
Yeah, I acted dumb. I didn't know what I was watching. No, but I didn't know what he was talking about.
Hey, excuse me, everybody. How we move from talking about horror movies to chatting about that night?
Yeah. Let's stick to the subject.
Right. Let me start with this one. Let me start with this one. I remember specific, and to this day, and it's not so much a horror film, but it's Michael Jackson's Thriller. Right. Now, my godmother and my mum, my godmother found it funny to put it on, and they knew I was scared of it, but it was funny to them, but not in a, they were abusively with it, but not realizing how I had a psychological effect. When I hear that tune come on now, I have to turn it off. I remember it specifically, just being so scared. Even just as soon as I hear it come on now, I'm like, turn it off. I can't. So for me, it was Thriller, Michael Jackson. Especially when he does the bit when he turns around. Nah, bro, I can't take it. Freddie was the one that again, when you're naive and want to watch horror films and stuff, it was that, not realizing the psychological effect when I hear dun, 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 you understand? Other than that, I love horrors. I can sit and watch it by myself and then wind myself up after.
I want to pick up on that Thriller thing, my cousin Damien, you used to be scared of that as well. That's what I'm saying. Every kid's threshold is different, innit? He used to be scared of it. I used to love it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But mine, was it is a horror. Yeah, I suppose it's a horror. It is a horror, but mine was American Werewolf in London. I was terrified of that film.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I was still scared, when he used to fall on the floor and the hair was growing out the back and his arms started stretching and his hands and and then he's running through the forest naked and then it was crazy because it weren't just a direct horror. It was a bit, you know what I mean? There was a bit of I don't know the right word for it, but there was, you know what I mean? I definitely shouldn't have been watching it, innit? Put it that way, innit? But mine was American Werewolf in London still.
Donna.
Yeah, I told you what mine was. Horror. That was that Animal Farm. No, joke.
Two girls and one cup.
What's wrong with you?
It's going to be 10 girls and 10 vibes soon.
Innit? What? Yeah. Well, it's going to be one gal and 10 vibes. That's what's going to be. You know what I mean? Not going to be hold the vibes no more. 10. Oh, Jesus. It's not funny, man. What was yours, Lenny? What was yours?
Me, there's a film that I used to watch around at my home called Errol's house. Zebby, a.k.a. Zebby. Rest in peace, Uncle Errol.
Uncle Zeb.
Superstition. And that film there, it's like, you know what? It's probably before nothing on the time, you know.
Eh?
Oh, fucking hell, boy. It's like one zombie woman in one yard. But it's like a haunted house. And the way she killed the people, man, oh, God, man. I just remember being frightened to even, see when you're frightened to go to bed? And, like, as a youth, I was scared like fuck, man. Like, I couldn't wait. Daniel, I had to go to bed at the same time as my younger brother because of, I won't go to bed by myself. I was like, I had to catch one away.
I just remembered, now I just remembered a film, yeah, Elephant Man. Did anyone watch that as a kid?
Elephant Man?
Nah.
I've heard it, no.
I didn't know that was a film. I thought that was real. I thought there was actually an Elephant Man.
Yeah, I think it is
Yeah, it was.
where it is, yeah, and that's what the film was based on.
Is that with
It was a horror film. It was just a man with a disfigured face, isn't it?
Yeah, and he was all in I can just remember him being in this room, and I don't remember watching it, but I just remember didn't like watching certain bits. I used to turn it off, and there was this man, he just used to look off-key, I didn't like that. I still don't remember it. I don't want to remember that.
Did you remember the people under the stairs?
Yeah.
Yeah, that used to freak me out. But I found I was so fucking weird that I would watch things that I didn't like. I mean, I don't know why, to get more scared or some shit, or to understand it. I think that's a bit...
I'll tell you a story. I was dealing with one chick in it, and I bought the Nightmare on Elm Street box set in it, and I said right, shall we pull it on for them to watch? Let's to see their reactions. You get me? And one of the kids, they were they weren't placid, but she was very girly, and the other one was just bad bruck. You get what I'm trying to say? So we threw it on, and then there was a bit where she's having a dream, and then she flies up to the ceiling, and she's on the ceiling, and the blood's spraying everywhere in it. The one who's like a goody, really girly, she goes, I need to go toilet. Well, she did need to go toilet, innit? She ran into the bathroom, innit, real quick. The other one just sat there, eyes glued to the TV, and I thought, yeah, turn it off, it's going to turn her mad. Start going out and doing some mad shit. So, yeah, it's different personalities, isn't it?
Definitely, yeah. And I guess with guys as well, you would have done that quite a few times growing up, you know what I mean? Put us in them situations as females as well to kind of judge out who's who or what's what, and also use it to your advantage. It's like, oh, cuddle me, I'll protect you. Feel it the funny. You know what I mean?
How old were you when you reckon they were doing that then?
Yeah.
I've never watched that Paranormal Activity.
Paranormal Activity, I think. Hang on.
With something in the house, man. It's
Yeah?
Yeah?
Where they're in the bed and shit, and the quilt's coming up and thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Now, yeah?
I watched that on my own, Well,
I went to watch it with my woman. I remember flipping. I was asleep, we were always in bed now, yeah? And I swear I was asleep. And I got up and I looked out in the passageway and I seen someone walking through my passageway, I just pulled the sheets back over me.
Pussy.
No, man, that someone wasn't walking, it was floating kind of. It wasn't walking. I pulled the sheets back over me.
One more thing, yeah? It's not a movie, yeah? But I wasn't really scared as a kid. Like I said, American London, what used to scare me, yeah? It's not even a film. It was mad. Do you know that when I was young, I used to be terrified of The Undertaker? He first came in Survivor Series 90, and his whole image was, innit? You don't feel no pain.
Come on.
He's just the dead man, innit? And when I was going up, I would not go up the stairs if it was dark. I had to turn on all the lights, because it was just stuck in my mind. But yeah, that's that.
You're scared of
The Undertaker. You hear the doom.
Yeah, it was scary. To me, it was scary. I was 8? I'll say it was scary.
Yeah, man.
You have to just override that and think about the Ultimate Warrior, yeah?
Mad, isn't it? Because my kids are at that age where they want to start watching horrors. They want to start watching horrors and watch, you know, it's like, you don't even know the psychological effect. Like Candyman, something that wasn't really a horror, but just the thought of looking in the mirror when you're by yourself and walking past something, the psychological effect it can have on your mind. So, why? You're not ready for these kind of things, man.
You know what scared me as well? Remember Teen Wolf?
Oh, that was a bad boy film.
Well, when he returned.
I didn't know Michael J. Fox returned to a werewolf.
Love that film.
Man.
Love that film. One of my favorite films.
It's my favorite, no.
Definitely. Wicked. What's my dad's name again?
I'm trying to think. That's the brother. I can
picture her perfectly. The one I went. The little hater.
Styles. That's it. Styles.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, the bitch. Yeah.
Can you give me a cake or beer? Remember that?
Listen, everyone, have you got anything else to say? Listen, Donna?
Yes.
We're going to wrap this up. Donna, you got anything else to say?
Yeah, I want to say to somebody called Big Up One Hearts, he's tuned in. He messaged me saying, you're killing me on the BumbaCast. Some real words. Yes, I big you up, One Hearts. Keep tuning in next week because it's Pure Joke we run. And yeah, that's about it. That's me. And that's it. But Crush, thanks for joining. And also I'd like to apologise on behalf of Marnie and Crush. You love chat over each other, you know. So what you're going to have to do is listen back to the show again and boost up the ratings, yeah?
No. Crush likes to chat over me. Because I say some such things that gives people so much passion, she just wants to scream out, like, you know what I mean? I make gal want to scream. That's what I do.
Oh, shut up. Okay. Yeah. You used to until the vibrators come in on the scene. Now the man ain't screaming anymore. That's what I'm saying. No gal ain't
screaming. Talking about. You know what I'm saying?
I wanted to say I tried my hardest to not talk over everyone this week. I know I have a big issue with that, but I am who I am. I just want to big up that guy. That guy knows who that guy is. And also, I definitely want to big up GMG as well because he done me he helped me out in the last 2 weeks and give me everything I needed in terms of my logo and stuff like that. So big him up as well. Other than that, I'm glad to be back. I think we're elevating. And, I love my family, man. Love my Dutty BumbaCast.
Oi, oi.
We already say bye to Marnie, innit?
Yeah. I'm good, man. Peace out, guys.
All right, this is the final. This is the end of another Dutty BumbaCast. Please tune in again next week. All right, where we'll be discussing a load of different topics and getting some more jokes.
Hold on. Real quick, which is imperative as well. Everyone needs to know that eventually we will be letting people come on to the show and take calls and stuff like that as well. I know a lot of people out there are kind of wanting to add in their 2 pence on stuff. You know, we don't know a lot about everything, and we are working on trying to make sure we have a particular conversation, for instance. Someone may really know their stuff about it. We will be letting people join in, you know, or kind of summarize at the end and stuff like that. Like we're elevating in it basically on how we're putting this together. You know what I mean? We know a lot of people that want to join in.
I just want to say, the guest that was supposed to come on the show, I'm not going to say her name, but I hope she's listening. And if she's not listening, I'm going to send her the show anyway. You're a letdown.
Yeah, upon you.
Leave like that.
Goes up. Bombarasio.
All right, done. I'm not done, man. Blood clot donor. All right. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Dutty BumbaCast. Tune in same time next week.
Peace.